I posit the existence of a universe in which there is an intro to this show.
Not going to happen.
It's quantum mechanically, it's possible. But
Do we all have goatees in that universe?
The equations that describe this show can accept negative values in which there would be an intro. At this point, we've gone longer than just what like an actual intro would have been. So let's stop. Hey.
What?
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're talking about movies.
Yes, we are.
While they still exist.
You think movies are going to go away?
Well, I should know that when you come to me unsolicited and you go, oh boy, I'm really worried about this. Mm-hmm. I should know that you read an article about something or you're tapping into the zeitgeist of whatever. Because the other day you were like, I'm worried about these theaters. Oh, it's these theaters.
Yeah, movie theaters. Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I know that like Regal's like, well, we're just going to just close until we see what happens, which is like, well, you probably should have done that. You'd saved all the money that you wasted being open during the summer. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'd be okay because the movies didn't make no money, or at least you didn't see much of that because nobody wants COVID popcorn.
No.
And so I was like, okay, well, you know, she's just thinking about seeing Tenet or something. And then I went out and like Patty Jenkins and the president of AMC and all these people are like, guys, movies are real bad. It's real bad. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe it was a little more serious than I took it for. But at the same time, I'll just point you to my rant that I either made on this show or Just Enough Trope, which is why we have to separate these shows, and that is coming. Someone's gonna show movies. It might not be Mr. AMC, but there will be movies.
You
in Trump's America, Take Two.
Stop it.
Well,
and I did actually. I saw some other article about it, and people were posting about their reactions to it online. And some people I just wanted to punch in the face, per usual, because of
your pugilism background?
No, because of what like they were saying. Like they're like, man, movie theaters are dead. They were dying long before this. This is just blah blah blah. I'm like, shut up.
I love
Don't. Just stop it.
The internet has both exposed all the village idiots and has also created more, says the guy with opinions who's talking into a microphone right now. But let's continue. Everybody has to have a take on something, and it's got to be 140 characters.
Yeah.
And very few things can be summarized comprehensively in 140 characters. You know, you could be like, oh, should Henry Cavill be in another movie? No. There, I got 2 characters. But nothing can. But everybody has to do it. And then I think we're all... Remember, okay, real quick, and this all is relevant because it's cultural theory and has to do with media.
Yeah.
Remember, like, if you ever saw, like, a reportage from, like, the 1950s where somebody's like, boy, these lunch counters are, I don't know, let's not try to go off that on tangent, but anyway.
Wow.
And, like, there's a bunch of, like, blonde, skinny dudes in rolled-up jeans in white T-shirts, and they're all just kind of looking at the camera. They're standing next to a Studebaker on the other side of the street and they're looking at the camera. Maybe one of them, somebody, at some point the meme of Hi Mom started.
Right.
And then maybe they're doing that.
Right.
But now everybody is their own TV studio producer, content creator, performer, on-camera talent. We're all the same thing. And so we all feel like we have to present. And back in the day, it was then, like, you know, appearances and takes on things kind of evolved. And now it's all, like, people my age. Look, I'm self-aware. It's people my age who went through the Generation X, Daria strata period. And so we all have, like, and they're never funny. Mine are. But they're never funny. They're just cynical.
Yeah.
And I think they have heavily contributed to everybody's huge bummer in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, shut up.
Yeah.
Or just say something nice.
Right.
Try that.
I know. Right. Think about what you're going to say. If it's not nice, maybe decide not to say it.
Yeah. Say,
how about that?
I really be honest. You don't have a take. You're not going to sideswipe this thing.
Yes, that's fine.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to be positive.
Yeah.
I miss movies too.
Right.
I was looking at a thing, and what was I doing? I was cleaning out my. I belong to this service that I used to use for movie reviews, where you get screenings, and of course, it's dead,
right?
Because there are no movies. But it's not dead; it's all just ads now. They send you the most random ads. So Fantastic. I was going in to clean all the spam out, and I saw. Oh yeah, that's right. I went to that screening of Battle Angel Alita in like January of 2 years ago. And I was just thinking, like, it's been. I mean, I went to a movie after that, obviously, but like, it's just been so long since I've seen a movie.
I know,
really has. And I don't feel the need to get super sarcastic about it. I'm just honestly telling you, that makes me feel bad.
It makes me feel bad, too.
But that's all immaterial because, like I said, Hollywood is going to keep doing this. Well, and as long as they're doing this, they're going to keep making movies. They're going to keep looking for people to sell them to. In some cases, and I'm a little worried about this, in this deregulated neoliberal liberal society we live in. I don't
love that.
But when you go to like a Lionsgate Theater or something like that, I'm a little worried about that.
Me too.
But, that's what I guess antitrust laws are for. It's weird that we'd apply that to entertainment and not all the other gigantic industries that we refuse to apply it to, but not a political show. What?
Why get rid of that? What is the point of getting rid of that law?
What law?
I don't want a Disney theater showing only Disney movies.
Well, I don't actually know what the motivation was. It will open the door to what will probably save the theater industry, which is direct involvement from the studios. And I don't know if they did it for that reason or if Disney was like, we make all the content anyway and just, leveraged themselves into a situation where they can get that part of the profit. But
yeah, I did read
who knows?
One of the other comments that was more positive was saying something similar to what you said, but apparently they were referencing specifically the flu in 1918. Apparently also, which makes sense, adversely affected the film industry.
Well, the nascent film industry.
Yeah, right. And like things looked bad, but came back as other companies. So it, like you said, is probably going to do something similar or could possibly do something similar. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it's a very different situation. But yes, you're right. We definitely will see. Let's talk about our films.
Yes.
I won the toss. So we'll talk about my film first.
Yeah.
The film that I picked is a film from 1956 called The Killing, directed by a Mr. Stanley Kubrick.
Who's that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he's a auteur. I mean, Disney snapped him up, and now he's just making crap now. But
what?
I wanted to watch Fear and Desire, his first film. But I thought let's just boil it down the middle here and watch a feature length film because his first film's like 60 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
So we watched his second movie, The Killing.
Yes.
It is a noir, I would say.
Yeah.
And it stars Sterling Hayden because of course it does.
Yeah.
What happens in The Killing?
So, The Killing is about a group of guys who are going to pull a heist at a racetrack. It's much more involved than that, but they are going to. There's this huge race that the winnings are worth $100,000, but they figure that they've done the math and they figure that all the money in this back room is going to be around $2 million, and they're going to split it with each other and everything. So it's more involved in that, but like it goes back and forth and it follows different characters, and we see them planning it and how this is going to go. One of the guys, his wife, gets involved and it gets really messy. So
well, that's it.
I could go more, but
usually I can't keep you from I would say I would add to that it is the type of film that is now totally de rigueur. Like you would just it's a heist movie.
Yeah.
And like a lot of heist movies, I kept thinking about Logan Lucky of all things while I was watching this.
Oh, I can kind of see that though.
Yeah, but that's more like uplifting.
Yeah.
But no, this is just like, it's a bunch of crooks.
Yeah.
Can they trust each other? Things start to fall apart. Nothing's perfect. It's a Double Indemnity type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in that cold, cerebral, calculating way, we're never really asked to sympathize with any of the characters.
No.
Even though I don't really sympathize with Fred McMurray in Double Indemnity, I'm supposed to be like, no, this guy got suckered. He got suckered by a dame or whatever.
Right.
Their lives are presented to us. I think Elisha Cook's character is probably the most sort of pathetic, and of course he's henpecked.
Yes.
So that's something that people in the 50s, I guess, that's a trope for them. Mm-hmm. I guess it's a trope today still, but
it is.
So maybe we feel bad for him, but also he's just immediately ready to murder somebody. So yeah, but it's like Tarantino films and all the films that were inspired by Tarantino, all those crappy direct-to-video 90s movies about, we're going to rob a bank, but then we did too many drugs, and I'm describing Killing Zoe. Or the one where the Suicide Kings, or whatever. I think they all have their roots in The Killing. Not that The Killing was the first movie to do this in any way, but it was definitely probably one of the most stylish entries in this kind of genre. Mm-hmm. Did you like the fact that the movie just doesn't even bother? It's like, at 7 a.m., Joe went down to get an egg sandwich. An hour earlier, Teddy was out washing his tights. But at Tuesday of the previous week, it's just like, I guess none of it really matters, which makes me wonder, like, well, why jump around then?
Mm-hmm. But, it jumps around a lot.
Yeah, but it has this sort of clinical Dragnet-esque kind of feel to it, but...
Which I'm okay with, but if you are somebody who needs to watch a movie in chronological order, like my grandfather was, you would hate this film.
That's very specific. Tell me the film that he saw he didn't like.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Well, come on. You don't expose the elderly to Michel Gondry. No.
I got to pick the movie, and I picked that movie, and oh man, yeah, I didn't get blamed for it.
We can unread a room well. So that's all right. That's okay though. It's a good movie. We should do that on the show. So
I own that movie actually. So
on DVD.
Yeah, I know.
Might as well have it on toilet paper. Just spin the roll really fast.
Wow.
Let's talk more about the film. This is that thing with, like, I don't know. There's some good actors in this movie. Mm-hmm. And then there's some actors in this movie, and I don't know. Like Sterling Hayden he's still kind of like Steve McQueen was like never like a real great dramatic actor, right? But he just you want to watch him do stuff. You leave
Steve McQueen alone.
You want to watch him do stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Walk away from the McQueen.
I'll put this bullet in a gun. And that's how I feel about Sterling Hayden. I love watching him. I don't think it's until because he never really cared. I don't think he ever really wanted to be an actor all that much. But the less that he cared, like the more he got. Like by the time we get to The Big Goodbye, like it's great. Mm-hmm. He's great in Strangelove, which is a couple years after this. Mm-hmm. Right now he's fine, but it's basically just like there's this element to Johnny that the film. This is a criticism that the film doesn't really set up all that much because again, remember we don't really care about. They have their little lives. Yeah. The guy's got a sick wife. Mm-hmm. Elisha Cook's henpecked.
Yeah.
But they don't matter all that much. The cop's in hock to an unsavory character.
Yeah.
But these are just like kind of motivations. They're not really important as character stuff.
Yeah.
And every single one of the guys is they're all kind of real pleasant. Like you're all kind of like maybe rooting for them in that way.
Yeah.
But they all are kind of F-ups a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they all kind of screw something up on their own. Which happens, but like Johnny's the guy who is on the dot. He arrives on time. He does all the stuff. And as the movie goes and the plot, the other problems pile up, he starts to slip and he gets 15 minutes behind. And now like the Johnny machine isn't firing on all cylinders.
Right.
And by the end, he just basically just gives up. And I understand because I've seen a million of these films that like, this is his big score, as he's telling Colleen Gray at the beginning. This is his big score, baby. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. And we never really, I don't know if we have to, but we don't really establish that, that Johnny doesn't mess up. You know what I mean? Like
right. I see what you're saying.
He gets it every time. He's got it. And as we see his confidence completely come apart in like the last 10 minutes of the movie. But again, you could be cold and cerebral, but these characters don't really have inner lives.
Right. I mean, I think it's interesting. So we learned at the beginning of the film that Johnny has just gotten out of prison for 5 years for some crime. Probably stole something or some robbery or something. I don't know. But, so I don't think he's even been out for a week. How long has he been planning all this? Because all this is already in motion.
Yeah, I don't know how things work, but he probably wasn't allowed to get on that plane or try to at the end. But
no. Pretty sure.
This is our second Sterling Hayden movie, right? Johnny Guitar.
Yes.
Also in Johnny Guitar, I would say he is there just to be a tall blonde guy.
Yeah.
Because he's also just
he doesn't even really sing that much, even though he's like hired to sing.
No, he's yeah, supposedly he's like a troubadour, and he's just like, yeah, look out, Vivian.
Yeah.
I want to be with you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
But that's okay. There's a lot of everybody lives in a railroad apartment in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's done to show that they're
not well-to-do.
Yeah, but railroad apartments, I don't know if that would apply to, because they're in they're in San Francisco. I don't know. Anyway, maybe that's supposed to suggest that they're all kind of 2-bit. But what it does ultimately is it gives Stanley a chance to run the camera around everywhere and do.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of it that.
Do his little tracking shots.
Sure, yeah.
But yet maintain the claustrophobia, of the character's environment. So I thought that was cool.
The apartments feel very small.
Yeah.
And very
small enough
in.
to have a shotgun mass murder in.
Yeah, well.
I wanted to call out specifically I can't remember the character's name. It's Sherry. That's it. Mary Windsor's character.
Yes.
I think that she's really good.
She's excellent.
She's got a real. Skip that. I can't remember this actress's name. I was going to compare her to, but but she's really great. For the whole sort of downplaying or underplaying everything, she's got the most going on in that she's going to leave the guy. She's also got a lover.
Yes.
Then she gets in a situation where now she's got to encourage her husband to do the job, so her boyfriend will have something to steal.
Yes.
And her husband's losing his nerve. And then she sets up Johnny by suggesting that Johnny had raped her.
Yes.
When they captured her trying to figure out what the plan was or listening in. And that scene was fun too, because they did it, right? You got the idea that Johnny had sipped some sherry in the past.
Oh, previously?
Yeah,
maybe
because to the rest of the gang, he's like, I'm gonna slap that pretty face into hamburger, then we're gonna get our answers.
But she knew who.
And
he
everybody
was.
leaves, and he's like, all right, what are you doing here? She's like, I was just hanging around. They have a rapport.
Yeah, and she knew his name. She was like, all right, Johnny.
Yeah, but I think it was revenge because, we're already this deep in. Who knows what's going to happen when we beat up or kill the husband to get the money. Maybe we can throw Johnny on the pile, too. Because clearly they have a history. He's like, you're a tramp, and he says all this stuff like he means it, like when they're having this back and forth. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's like, just take care of that.
It's interesting though because her husband asked her the night before a leading question what happened with him, did anything happen, and she said no, it happened the way I said it happened, and she was very emphatic about it. And then the next morning she's like, well, I tried to tell you multiple times, but you kept interrupting.
She had to give Elisha a little more juice to get this thing done. Although it throws the whole thing in disarray, because if he just runs over to Johnny's place and shoots him in the face, there's no heist.
Yeah.
But I liked that. She was never hysterical. She was never a crazy woman or whatever.
No.
She was really great.
She was.
What else? There's a lot of famous actors in this film. I mentioned Elisha Cook before, who's done a lot of stuff. He was, one of his first roles, I think, was Maltese Falcon.
Oh, okay.
He plays the whiny hood at the end that they're going to pin the whole thing on. He's like, no, what? No. Joe Turkel is in this. Joe Turkel is, he is the basically silent sidekick to the gigolo boyfriend. The only reason that you'd know him is, a couple reasons. He plays Eldon Tyrell in Blade Runner. a Ridley Scott film.
Yes.
But also shot in England, where Stanley Kubrick lives. And then he was the bartender in The Shining.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So some kind of key roles, but also a guy that maybe you wouldn't like necessarily see.
I didn't recognize the name when you said it before. I think you pointed it out when the movie started.
And then we mentioned Colleen Gray before. Colleen Gray's, I don't know, she's it's kind of interesting. Like she was an actress when she was very young in the studio system, and all of her films flopped, and so they basically just fired her. And then she hung around Hollywood for a while doing this and that, and then she kind of moved to TV and just never had a real big career, and she's talked about that before. But also she supported Goldwater in '64, so she's dead to me. She's nuts.
Wow.
Politics. I've been talking a lot. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like it was really good, and but like you said, like sometimes it was like I was fine with it jumping around so much, but sometimes you felt like you needed like a timeline in front of you or something like that, or like not like timestamps. I know, but it almost felt like if you looked at it, it would have been like this huge mess of string. Like, well, before that, at this time, it would have been this and that. Though, I mean, I guess I understand it, like why they're I guess that the gun thing, right? Like Johnny has the gun that they have in the locker room, right? The way that they get it there, it's a long process, and it's like, where is this going, And it's almost like its own little mini movie.
Maybe Johnny overplans his heists a little bit.
Maybe, because it's like, okay, I'm going to take a gun.
Huckleberry, Sawyer syndrome.
Right. I'm going to take a gun, have it in a guitar case. I'm going to get a hotel room, put it in there. Then I'm going to go there several days later with flowers, put the gun in the flowers, then bring the flowers to a locker, lock it in the locker, then drop the key off at the bartender's apartment. Then the bartender's going to go get the flowers, and he's going to put it in the locker so I can get it later.
You think the NRA ever clashes with the NRA? The National Rifle Association clashing with the National Rose Association. And the Rose Association is like, people are always putting long guns in our boxes for long-stem red roses. You think you're getting a nice dozen, and then out comes a 12 gauge. Come on.
What is this?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's all... I mean, this is based on a book called Clean Break by Lionel White, which I bet focuses more on Johnny trying to outrace his
I thought of something else
bad luck,
about, but yeah,
because luck is a part of this too.
Right, it is.
This movie also continues the tradition of the how do you say this? Kubrick has no problem depicting as much sex and intimacy as he will be allowed to. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
I
when
get that.
Because even like the suggestion of this is like the mid-50s, like the suggestion of an affair is kind of like ooh,
yes,
but yeah, but when she goes in, to meet her little rent boy, Kubrick has no problem with frank sexuality, and I think that was that guy's name, frank sexuality. So yeah, but and you see that in Psycho. That was a big part of like the beginning of Psycho, or just even like the entire movie of Psycho. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, like.
Even like when we first see Johnny and what's the girlfriend's name? You just were talking about that actress. He's helping her refasten her belt.
Yeah, he's putting his hands on her.
But to me, it's like, well,
that's intimate.
They've just had sex, and
right.
He's helping her put her.
He just got out of the joint.
Yeah, right.
Of course.
I wanted to talk about...
Also, one more thing.
Yeah.
As far as, like, attention to detail and, like, little things that the glamour of movies would excise. When she comes... When Elisha Cook and the lady whose name I've forgotten now are home, and he's trying to grill her about, like, what
Carrie.
she said with Johnny.
Yeah.
She puts on cold cream and removes her makeup. And she actually does it.
She does.
It isn't like... you would cut away. You know, a woman sits at her vanity. She gets a thing. She's daubing her finger in the thing, and then she maybe puts it up at the top of her forehead, and then we just cut to something else. We reverse cut to her conversational partner or whatever. But she just smears it all over her face.
Yeah,
it's just a little thing. But I was like, oh, he wants like. You know, this to be real. You know, he wants verisimilitude.
And she takes her fake eyelashes off before that, too.
Yeah, well, I think that says a lot about Sherry, though.
Yeah, well.
That's, of course, Sherry takes her eyelashes off.
Yeah,
we got 2.5 minutes, and I want to talk about The Wrestler.
Can I say something else really quick?
That's why I'm telling you we've got 2.5,
okay,
well, 2:15.
I want to talk about the shooter, the guy who shoots the horse.
Yes.
So he has to go park in the specific parking lot, and there's an attendant there, and he basically bribes him. The attendant happens to be black, and the attendant actually seemed to really like his interaction with this guy, and the shooter told him that he's a paraplegic, and that's why he has to park in that parking lot. But you were like, which doesn't really make that sense. Like, why would you want to be that far away from the track? But whatever. But so he goes over and talks to him a couple of times, and he talks to him right when the race is about to start, and he's like, I just wanted to bring you a good luck charm. Like, here's a horseshoe for some luck, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I really appreciate the way you treated me, not just the money, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And then the shooter was like, I got to get rid of this guy. So not only does he insult him, he calls them the N-word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? But then, like, he's like, okay, yeah, all right. Whatever.
Oh, yes, Mass. I guess I'll be moving on.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then he, like, drops the horseshoe on the ground.
Yeah.
Just kind of, like, casually, like, screw this, you know,
And
walks away.
Yeah. And the shooter shoots the horse, and then he's got to get out of there, and he pulls
Really
out,
fast.
but he blows a tire because he ran over the horseshoe, which, so sharp, horseshoes. But I get it. Now, are you postulating, you're not doing that at all. I'm going to postulate that there is, like, a god? Or like karma in this universe,
well,
which doesn't seem very Kubrickian.
I was thinking he was saying this is for good luck. He's like, screw your good luck, and
come
he's
on,
like,
you don't know how to do it. We're on a budget. We've got 12 seconds left.
what?
Get to the point.
It was his bad luck. It was because he was mean to the guy. Mean to the guy who was offering him good luck.
Which
yes.
Okay, now I'm going to rewind and waste more time and say that I'm positing that in this movie, but really not in any of the rest of the Kubrick universe, there is karma.
Yes.
Or at least luck of the Irish.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know if it's an in-joke or not. That actor was James Edwards. He starred in a movie called Home of the Brave, which was about a paraplegic African-American veteran who faces racism in the war and stuff like that. And it's like a psychological drama. It's actually I want to talk about it in the show, but
all right.
We're out of time.
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk about The Wrestler.
You had to tell your story 3 times in a row.
Whatever.
The Wrestler, that's remember I shouted out in the oh look, it's Cola Quariani. He was a wrestler in the 50s. Funnily enough, he's from Georgia. Georgia, not on my mind, but you know Georgia.
The country Georgia.
The Midwestern girls really knocked me out. Georgia, it's always on my mind. It is on my mind. Paul McCartney, you're a hack. Anyway, what? So the point is, people know. The point is that he was a chess player. And he did go to a club called the Chess and Checker Club in New York City. Of course, that's in New York City. We're in San Francisco, but that's okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And he reminds me of George the Animal Steel. What else? Notes.
I had trouble
this
understanding.
This is the bear.
him.
But yeah, no, absolutely.
I felt
should
horrible.
not have been cast. Could not
but
understand
I was like, wow.
a GD word that he was saying.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're defeated by airline bureaucracy and a small dog at the end.
Yes.
The book has to have the theme of luck, right? It has to have the theme of fortune and being down on your luck. That has to be there.
I think it has
to. It's barely present in the film, though.
Yeah, well.
Which I think is weird. But like I said, I think that Kubrick would be... Although Barry Lyndon... No. It's the fortunes of Barry Lyndon. They're up, they're down. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are just unlucky.
I think they're unlucky. And I think that Johnny is smart and maybe he overplans, but he's working with a bunch of idiots.
Kubrick did not invent the out-of-sequence film. Rashomon came out in 1950.
Yeah.
The Killers came out the year before this, I think. It is out of sequence. But He used it well here.
Yes.
Did Kubrick invent the bird bit? That's what I want to know. And what's the bird bit?
Yeah,
the bird bit is
bird bit?
It's a cockatoo. It can talk, and it's commenting on the situation. And the reason I think that this might be a very early use of it, although I could be wrong, is that he doesn't do it very well. First of all, I can't, like the wrestler, I can't really tell what the bird is saying. And
Yes.
we didn't set up in the beginning that the bird can talk. I don't think we've even seen the bird before this scene. So
It was in one of the earlier scenes, but just kind of in the background.
okay,
Yeah.
but they weren't like pretty polying it or anything
No,
like that.
they weren't talking to
Or
it
she's like,
anything.
what? Oh, frank sexuality. Ooh, please, more.
No, none of that. That was
Let's talk about your movie.
not a thing.
Let's talk about your movie.
Okay, my movie.
And that's how you do a parrot bit.
Wow, my movie was Barbarella.
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 That's
There's
a Shanana song, right?
Whole song about Barbarella.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Barbarella from 1968.
yes.
Crap.
Crap. What?
I'm going to have to say what happens in Barbarella.
You are. That is your job.
I don't even know.
Do your best.
Okay. It's based on a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
A bad comic book.
Have you read it before?
No, but we'll talk about French comic books. Barbarella is a space agent, let's say.
Isn't she kind of like an astronaut or something?
Who's telling this?
All right.
And she is contacted by the president of Earth, who says that a quote-unquote mad scientist, I don't know if they say mad scientist, but he is a mad scientist, named Duran has escaped Earth. He has invented a positronic ray,
Yes.
which is a weapon. Yes, Jane Fonda, it's a weapon. They don't have weapons here in the year 40,000 because everybody's about love.
Right.
And slowly taking off your spacesuit.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is assigned to go after him. He is in the system Tau Ceti, which is a real system, but it's neither here nor there. She goes there. On her way there, she crashes, and it just becomes it's a travel log. You know, she's just going to go from place to place, keep crashing her ship. She's going to meet a succession of hot guys that she's going to bone.
Yep.
And eventually she'll have to defeat the Queen of Evil or something. What was her name again?
She was.
I was really plugged into this film.
Wow. She had a
No,
couple
I don't want a story. I want the name of the character.
She had a couple of different names. It was the something tyrant. Before we knew it was a woman, it was like the dark or evil tyrant. I don't even remember. And then she was like the Black Queen. There was a couple different things they were calling her.
Big sigh from this side of the table.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, her name was the Great Tyrant.
the Great Tyrant.
So anyway,
yes.
I don't know. We'll talk about the particulars now, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the backstory of this film?
Sure.
Do you really? Seems like
I don't know. Do I?
It seems like you don't want to.
I don't.
Dino De Laurentiis.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is.
Yeah.
You know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Bought the rights to this comic, Barbarella.
Mm-hmm.
And he, wanted to get it made for about $13.50
Okay.
in change. American,
Okay.
not Frank's. He hired Roger Vadim, who was a film director and a writer, and he, all of his works are visually lavish with erotic qualities in the
okay.
French style.
Sure.
And oh man, that's right. He directed Gene Roddenberry's only film.
Uh-oh.
The one where the high school guidance counselor bangs all the students.
No.
He did create And God Created Woman. That's a pretty good movie.
Okay.
So anyway, and he was married to Jane Fonda at the time.
Oh.
And so he's like, guess who'd be great for this film?
Yeah.
Forget Sophia Loren, forget Verlisi, forget all these people. We're going to put Jane Fonda in this role.
I like Jane Fonda, though. I mean,
she's definitely got better in acting.
Yeah, and I mean, she's having fun. She's gorgeous.
Is she having fun?
I think she's having fun.
It's been a really tough shoot.
Yeah,
It's just her getting thrown around and then
she falls a
changing
lot.
into new outfits.
Yeah.
And the movie did really great. Like, it was huge in the UK. That's why you can be hungry like the wolf now and not whatever they would have called themselves. But yes,
Yeah,
Duran Duran
I know, right?
named themselves Duran Duran because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Tells you a lot. They like girls. Roger Vadim likes girls. This European sexuality, it's gone too far. We need to talk about this. But anyway, that's what it is. And the reason that I said, I forgot. Well, we'll talk about that later. The reason I said that it's a bad comic is there are a lot of comics like this where it's just a character who is a space guy or whatever is put into a situation. Yeah. And if it's a dude like Valerian, he's capable, he's ready, he solves the problem or whatever. And if it's a girl like Barbarella, she's like, oh no, now this is happening. Oh no, the blue priapisms have tied me up. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm saved by someone else. Here's your reward. It is me banging you. And then just move on to the next thing. And I guess there's a tradition for this in other media. Fanny Hill's like that, right? The erotic novel from
I don't know.
The 18th century.
I don't know.
Where she's just having a good time. She's just moving from here's the Brobdingnagians, here's the Lilliputians. I screwed them all. But like Barbarella's like, it's 68. Bond is already here and gone. Uh-huh. She can't handle any of these problems herself. But the thing is, they don't want her to. They want her to just change clothes 12 times, and we watch every zipper come down and everything else, right?
It's just frustrating to me because, like, we have no idea. We're led to believe that she has some sort of experience, not necessarily, like, tracking people down, but, like,
she doesn't show signs of having any experience doing anything
with anybody.
She's taking the pill and she holds her hand out sometimes, but like, she doesn't know anything. She knows
nothing, and she's way too trusting. And, like, she's always like, oh, thank you, as somebody, like, leads her into a trap. Or, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that was so kind of you for saving me, when they are doing it just for their own
I hope these dolls
reasons.
Don't chew all my flesh off.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And that, too. Like, her being attacked by small things that clearly couldn't kill her, but could cause minor flesh wounds. And also tear her clothing to the point where she needs to take it off again.
Well, we just need to create another excuse for her to, have no clothes on or have her clothes torn off, and then also for her to have a new outfit, because this is just a fashion show, right?
But yeah, and when you think about like something else came out in 1960, well, it was 1969, I guess, but like Tracy Bond, she's not an MI6 agent, but she gets it done. So I just don't know. It's just
it's disappointing.
At that time, at that time, nobody was thinking about it. 12-year-old kids are getting boners, and they're just like, "This is a cool space thing." Oh, there's a guy in a Chewbacca costume without a hat, without the head.
Yeah,
There's an angel guy, real sci-fi. There's, do you know what I mean? But that's fine. It's like a romp. It's an adventure. I like the idea of a sex pos female agent who's out there.
That's the one thing I was going to say. I like
who's out there. Doing things, but like that's like Laureline from the movie Valerian and Laureline. In the comics, she's kind of the same thing. She's just like, oh no, I guess they use clothes for money. I'm broke.
I don't remember that from the movie. Her being like, I guess she was. I mean, they were.
She punched guys and stuff, but they also put her in situations where, oh, these like walking turds want to marry you,
right?
So you're gonna have to wear this wedding dress,
right?
Yeah, look. It's French, man. It's the French.
I mean,
I don't know what to tell you.
I guess another thing that I liked was that the Great Tyrant, they kept talking about the Great Tyrant, and you, in your head, automatically picture a guy, and then it turns out to be this woman who, which I thought was a great reveal, who had saved her previously because she was out among the streets wearing an eye patch and like she had knives,
spinning knives.
Like that. Yeah,
what was the point?
Look cool,
but that like bring the knives back or like establish that like I don't know, she has a split personality, or that maybe she's the Great Tyrant and she's expected to like crucify people and stuff like that, but like really she has some idea about civics that maybe she can help. By also being a street vigilante that saves people from getting raped or something. Yeah. But instead, it's just, nope. And it's Anita Pallenberg. And it's like, she's just not really an actress, at least.
She's, not very strong.
Remember Turner's girlfriend in Performance. You might not recognize her with clothes on.
I don't recognize either of those.
She's in a bath for most of the film.
From performance with clothes on.
Blonde,
which one was the
blonde
girlfriend?
girl?
God, I don't remember.
Anyway, that's Anita Pallenberg.
Okay.
So
all right.
I don't know if Keith Richards was in his car outside the set of this film.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, she's just not that great. The cues in this are a mile wide. Now, I know that the movie is, it's only like 98 minutes to begin with, but like when you've got like a not actress like Anita Pallenberg, just cut. Just cut it up. Just cut it up.
Well,
I know they didn't do that much back then, but just cut it up. Because everybody goes like, Barbarella, I'm going to send you some weapons. Now, these are dangerous guns.
Yeah.
Reverse.
I know.
You're sending me guns?
Yeah, right. I know.
Like, it's just, you got to hit hard. Where's the ship coming over the camera? I know that'll be another 10 years, but it just takes forever to get going.
I have a sci-fi gripe, too, because, like, I just don't feel like her items that she's given are explained well or utilized in the way that we find out later that there's something that needs to charge her gun, and if that runs out of juice, her gun can't shoot. And we don't learn that until
they come up with it.
Yes,
while they're writing the script.
Right.
Terry Southern worked on this script. I'm a little disappointed, but he also worked on it with 3, 4, 5.
You're counting names.
8 people.
That's a lot of people.
8 people.
Maybe too many people.
So maybe that's the problem.
Maybe have one person read it all over and make sure it makes sense.
Maybe that's the problem.
But she has this device that's like a cool, funky 60s bracelet.
Yeah.
But that also, it's basically her universal translator. And that gets set up very early on. She can't understand these people, and she's got to get it right, and she gets it right. And then it's supposed to flash when Duran Duran is close. It is later revealed that somebody she has already met is Duran Duran, and it didn't flash earlier than that. And he gets the bracelet off of her. She's walking around without the bracelet on. It is in another room, but she's still somehow able to communicate and talk with people. I don't understand that.
Aren't they all... This whole movie takes place on one planet.
Yeah.
Don't they all just speak the same language? I know there's like rock people.
But she didn't understand them when she first
I know,
got
but she
there.
had to adjust it like 6 times, and it's like, well, they all just speak the same language, whatever. You're right. That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world. Here's how I know that Duran Duran is near. I hear...
He did put her in a musical instrument of sorts to torture her.
Yeah, I always thought that was the Orgasmatron, but maybe that's...
yeah, I think that is what it's called.
I'm not sure it has a name.
Yeah,
on
really?
Screen. I could be wrong, but
okay.
I was kind of checked out at that point.
No.
This is the future liberals want, right?
What? No.
Space
Everybody
agents,
dies at the end.
Space agents, sex pills, and a machine that makes you come to death.
Everybody dies at the end except the
That's
angel,
good screenwriting
Barbarella,
too. Like,
and
I know. How do we clean this up?
And the Great Tyrant.
Okay. The one thing that I can think of that is a theme in this is that I just got that. The king of Earth, the king of town, the president of Earth is like her M and her Q, because he gives her the thing.
Yeah, right.
And then he gives her the stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. There's a James Bond element in there for sure.
Yeah.
Is that her? So this is at some point you just start making things up, right? So the planet that they're on, it feeds on, it's evil. It's full of evil, like liquid evil.
Yes.
And the evil feeds on something, I guess, violent acts
and thoughts
or so. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so at the end, once there's never like a philosophical discussion, like the tyrant just flips and she's kind of a good guy now because she's a pretty girl, I guess. She and Barbarella get swallowed by the evil that's inside the Earth called
liquid.
Megatron or whatever.
Right.
But it barfs them out
yes.
because of Barbarella's purity.
Right.
Her purity of spirit. Mm-hmm. And also the angel, it's implied, is sort of, survives for the same reason.
Yeah.
So purity is important.
Uh-huh.
I guess.
I guess.
Also,
Purity of heart.
Smoking a man in a hookah is important, too.
Apparently. What was it? The angel said something at the end. Like, Barbarella is like, why are you saving her, like, the great tyrant, after all she's done to you? Like, she's tortured you, blah, blah, blah. And now I can't remember what he said, but it was something really stupid.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I can't remember it. It's so stupid, I forgot it.
Well, it destroyed the brain cells
yes.
that tried to hold it.
Yes.
It wasn't that it was stupid, but it wasn't so much that it was stupid that it was the last line. He could have said something stupid, and you're like, okay, all right, dummy.
And that's
He's
how
good
it
in bed.
ends.
He's good in bed.
And that's how it ends.
And then Barbarella's like, well, I guess we're gonna Barba another Della some other day or something, or just something.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah.
I like the manta ray sled.
The manta ray sled, yes. Yeah, that was fun.
Or was it a skate? They're not that clever.
I don't know.
A skate is an aquatic creature that's kind of like a manta ray.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
They're on ice, and if they're skating on ice, then a skate would be something of a visual pun. But they're not that smart.
Okay, I get it.
I like the evil kids.
Yeah, they were fun.
And they're nightmare dolls.
But they didn't really pay off. We see
Nothing pays off. We have to get that out of your mind.
Again.
You have to get that out of your mind. Nothing pays off.
And then they go back to the labyrinth, and like all those people, they just die. They just die unceremoniously.
Everybody dies.
It's like, wow, way to go, Barbarella. Way to go to this planet.
That wasn't her job.
Not get Duran back and get everybody killed in the process.
She was not commanded to save pairs of evil twins.
Yeah, I know. But like, if she had just not gone on that mission, all those people would be alive. So.
How did we get this far without mentioning that legend Marcel Marceau is in this film?
I don't know.
And is probably the best part. I liked Professor Ping a lot.
He was great. What was the thing where he stuck like the magnifier on his forehead?
He had like a jeweler's loop.
Yes.
But it didn't go over his eye. It went over his eyebrow, which I thought was cool because it's like, oh, does it like beaming the magnification into your brains?
Oh.
The optical circuits or something? That was cool. But I think it was like the one like acrobat or like body thing that he got to do, because I think he was keeping it up there with his like forehead muscles, because once he's done, he's like, oh, we'll fix you right up. And so he sort of jauntily like it, grabs it after it falls off of his head. And I thought like, well, they didn't let him do any mime stuff, so maybe that's the one thing that he was like, I'll just put this in because I'm bored.
Interesting. Okay.
But then it gets blown up.
Okay, I know.
What else?
He just unceremoniously dies.
And you liked the music by Bob Crew.
The song at the
Barbarella.
beginning was funny with like the okay. I enjoyed the opening. I was like, I was excited because I was like, this is so silly and ridiculous and so 60s. What kind of fun psychedelic sci-fi treat am I in for?
You're gonna watch Jane Fonda just roll around on a piece of plexiglass for 10 minutes.
I know, and kind of lazily, slowly take off of her astronaut suit.
And the best part is,
by piece,
this cost
leg by leg.
This cost maybe like $1 million or $2 million less than 2001. Same year they came out. 2001 is doing insane stuff. They built a rotating set for the guy to jog in to be, the gravity. You got floating pens. You got Dave's in the airlock. You got all kinds of stuff. And this movie, which is like a cheap-ass Dilo De Laurentiis production, somehow spent almost as much as 2001. And Jane Fonda's just like, do I just keep rolling around? Or, okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do this whole scene naked? Okay. All right.
Hey, she had a shag spaceship. A shag ship.
Oh, no.
Baby.
Yeah, it was very shag. And a smart spaceship that talked to her but didn't seem to understand what was going on half the time. I
liked Dildotron or whatever his name was.
The
Dildano, which is like, oh, you're so bad.
Why is that bad?
Dildo?
Oh, I didn't get it. Okay.
You're so bad.
I get it. Yeah, he was kind of fun. I liked that he wanted to have sex like with the pill and holding the hand up. And
she's
not
like, oh, shirt off, and he's like, well, no, you the Earth people, you have sex with the pill. Let's do the pill.
Yeah.
And you pegged correctly, I think. It wasn't a revelation. I got it too, but you pegged that. It's like, oh, is this where Demolition Man got it from?
I think so.
And I think
right?
You're probably right.
Yeah.
And then they have the gag where his hand smokes, which is funny, but it goes on
very long,
so long, and it doesn't. And they don't do anything to come back to it or to comment on it. There being more. Do you do it a lot at first, and then it dies away, and we forget about it, or you do it a lot, and then it fruit like keeps coming back as he's like, ooh, like aftershocks.
Right.
But they got the thing with his hair right. His hair is all crazy.
Yes, I did enjoy.
Later on, he smooths it down.
Right, I did enjoy his ridiculous outfit as well. It was like a men's unitard, I guess. Well, it was like a unitard, like a leather unitard with long sleeves, and he had kind of a cape thing, and then like he had like chains going across in front of it, kind of in front of his crotch and everything. It's just like
Called him like
it was bizarre when you don't have pants
impotento or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
That. But yeah, whatever.
But I liked that nothing worked in his lair either. Like none of.
But again, photography could have made that work, and they do almost everything in just a one. And so he's like trying to get he's like Fonzieing the thing to try to get it to work, and it's just like, okay, oh, that's what they're doing. Okay,
right.
Well, I guess that's a kind of funny thing.
Yeah.
Better. Sorry, I was just thinking about like better or worse than Flash Gordon, because honestly, they make about the same amount of sense.
It's been so long since I've seen Flash Gordon.
All right, forget it.
I don't know.
Forget it.
Do you
Look,
think
your answer's not going to be worth it, and we're going to make a lot of people mad. So we'll just skip it. I've learned that you can't make people mad about stuff that they saw when they were a kid, because, boy, they're just going to go insane.
Yeah, well, isn't that the truth?
Even if you've got some fairly well thought out criticisms.
Yeah,
they're very justifiable.
Yeah.
Things to say. Does this? No, I'm not even going to ask. It does. This film is a great example of the trope of born sexy yesterday.
Yeah.
A hot woman who should really, if she's a space ranger or something like that, should really have all the skills that she needs, and yet somehow is just carted from place to place. And is like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I know.
And also the trope of sexual reward.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's saved by an angel. That's the sequel to Touched by an Angel. And then she's touched by an angel. That's the sequel to that.
All right.
And she's going to get pecked to death by birds. And she makes some kind of comment that's like, this is an ironic way to die. Why, are you a bird? I don't get it.
I don't.
Did you right before this happened, did you smear bird seed all over yourself?
I don't.
Check
yeah,
this out.
You're right.
I'm being eaten by birds. Oh, this is a
I didn't think about that before.
But then she's saved by a Dildotron, and it's like, well, obviously I'm going to have sex with you.
Right. That's just what she thinks, because she gets to this planet, and the first guy
hey,
who saves
King of Town, send her some money next time. So she here you go, here's $100, thanks.
For the first guy who rescues her, he's like, oh, wow.
He is a French film actor and director, I believe, and I can't remember his name, but he's like, yes, we will make the love.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because of course we will.
But you did point out, and I agree with you, that this was a pretty good bit, right? Like, he's wearing, like, this fur Chewbacca suit, and then he takes it off to make love.
They stuck hair on him.
Yes.
He might be a hairy guy, but, like, they put fake hair on him. And so, he pulls the Chewbacca suit off, and he's super hairy underneath. It's like, oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah. More of that. And then also, it's like...
Here's the... Okay, while you're thinking about it, I'm going to propose something else. French sci-fi directors love their gibberish languages. Now, I don't know what the root of this is. I'm just pointing something out. Okay. I'm not saying anything about it either way. But Luc Besson, Roger Vadim, I guess, Give me more. Give me more.
Give you more? I don't know.
Alex Proyas, who I know is, I think French Algerian, but they always they're usually, because I think it's cool when there's sci-fi languages or whatever. Fine. Ooh, we could stick. No, Denis Villeneuve is Quebecois. He's not French, but still, maybe the French, something about the French language. They were the lingua franca, and now they want to lord it over us by having characters not understand each other. But big bada boom, boom, blah, 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 in Fifth Element, and like the languages in this, and like most sci-fi films are just like, we got 2 hours. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Even Star Trek is like, they got a universal translator. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But like French, they love having like peta, like fake languages in their films. And I don't know. I'll be back in the future with an update about why that is.
Okay. All right.
Once I figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. That's weird. Are they making fun of people? Is it like them?
With fake languages?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Is it them being like, hey, look at this person who's different from us over here? Or
no, I don't think they are. Okay. What else we got going on?
I think I kind of want.
We haven't talked about Duran Duran.
Yeah, in a minute. I kind of want to sit down. Like maybe it's the comic book creator or something.
45
like that.
seconds.
Oh, all right. I don't understand the world building for this world. Like, I think there's just like
it's a pleasure world.
Too much going on.
There's a lot going on,
and it just doesn't make sense.
It's dissolute. They have suicide booths.
Yeah,
where it's like, you can take this door, or you can take this door.
Yeah.
Play some music.
I know, right?
Shoot a little Lysol in there.
Yeah.
Make them feel like it's... there's one character that has like a messy hair and it's got a weird cowl or like headdress that goes along. It frames their face, and it made me think a weird world of pleasures and strange things and a tyrant. Jack Kirby, did you like Barbarella?
Oh, yeah, right.
I think you ripped off Barbarella for the Fourth World.
And that one little snippet, he's like, that's it. That's my inspiration right there.
No, the whole idea of an evil planet with roiling evil inside and a tyrant. And
I guess.
We never talked about Duran Duran. All right, we got to go.
What about Duran Duran?
Just the character, like the fact that what's the point? He's just pure evil.
He's just pure evil.
But that this is a world.
And he somehow aged
but they had conquered
evil in like 5 years.
Millennia ago. Yeah, he aged a lot. What are we supposed to be feeling?
That says. I don't know.
Nothing. Even the Orgasmatron doesn't do anything for me anymore.
No.
I'm just gonna start. I just put a cigarette out on my wrist. All right. Well, anyway, we'll be back in the future with probably more shit like this. So.
Wow.